Well, welcome to episode number 9. Yeah, I'm managing to actually get through these. I think I might adjust you a little bit higher. Yeah, episode 9. Going to be a little bit different today, a little bit kind of non-vloggy, but quite an important aspect of muscle building is how hard you should actually train. Like, what's a sensible way to train to elicit enough muscle growth or more muscle growth? Because it's a bit more complex than just going in and smashing the gym. I have talked about this idea of intensity and what it actually means, and the fact that it isn't about how sweaty you feel after a gym session. You know, you can use RPEs and things, but there's an accurate way of determining how hard something is. And certainly when I'm working with online clients, I know that if they're going to do 10 repetitions at 75% of their true 1 rep max, that's going to be hard. That's going to be at their limit. So we want to make sure that we're working within about 60 to 75 to 80% of our 1 rep maxes within our training sessions. That's when we know we're probably within a hypertrophy range of some kind. And we know that when you train to failure, so what people would probably consider as intense training or very hard training, we know that we're going to get close to form breakdown. And form breakdown could then potentially lead to a higher risk of injury. So in reality, when I go back to the idea of RPE, 7 or 8 out of 10, or even a 1 to 3 reps in reserve, you're not training to failure. However, when you consider percentages of your 1 rep max, you're certainly still probably training hard, but something that's quantifiable rather than something that's necessarily subjective. That being said, oh, we're not in focus. That being said, the type of exercise that you do, you can probably choose to go to failure on an isolation movement. So for example, lateral raises, taking that to failure, but still maintaining form, bicep curls, calf raises, these kind of things, you can still probably take close to failure. I'm not saying that you can't or shouldn't, but it's maybe about the type of exercise that you choose. So that's an area where you can probably start to, make funny faces and start to train hard. So to give you at least a little recap of what I'm getting at in terms of intensity. First of all, we can quantify intensity based on a 1 rep max. So 60 to 75%, you want to be working within a range of that to train or grow muscle mass. We can then set targets of how hard you're training. Again, something that's quantifiable. Rates of perceived exertion, 1 to 10, or 10 being obviously failure, and then 6 maybe being a hard warm-up. Or we can use something like reps in reserve, and we're working between 1 to 3 based on how you feel at the end of a set. That is intensity. You're also considering the types of exercise that you're taking to failure. Things like squats are probably not the best choice to take to failure. However, you can take lateral raises or bicep curls to proximity of failure, because they're isolation and because it's not necessarily going to cause any injury, or less likely to, certainly. Yeah, that should cover a few little bits and pieces. Probably a short, nice little vlog today for episode number 9. Yeah, I'm here, and there's like guys just sitting around, just kind of, we got one over there, we got Fabs. Say hello, Fabs. Wave to the fans. There, big arms, there you go. I won't tell you what else is big about him. And then we've got Jamesy over here, trying to film a serious workout. You all right, mate?
Just eating some chicken, mate.
Just eating some chicken. Anyway, so yes, none of that shenanigans. Get you back in focus. Here we go. That is episode 9 of the massing season done. I'll see you on Thursday at 5:30.